So anyways, that is just, it just wasn't, I had to clarify because, yeah, I see things some different. And then you don't know when you're listening to all these different people what their biases are. And when they're receiving information, it has to go through their lenses of understanding. And so your biases interfere with being able to see a lot of stuff. So I don't know. You just got to see, watch how it plays out. But to me, what I'm saying makes sense. Like, it actually makes sense. Like, you're watching it, it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna, oh yeah, that's gonna. So I don't know. I would say, and I've said before, that the event comes from all of the pain and turmoil that happens once the lights come on. Once the people see themselves. It's like, being stuck in the funhouse mirrors and having to keep looking at yourself and looking at yourself. And people aren't good at it. They aren't good at looking at themselves. And it's going to be challenging. So that is going to create a lot of, not hostility, a lot of like sadness and pain. A lot of, it's going to be like a lot of sadness. That's where, to me, the healers, that's why we've been having all these healers come in, finding themselves, because people are going to be wanting to figure out, like, how do I feel better? How do I fix this? What is wrong with me? And that's why it's going to have a lot to do with spiritual healing. And it's deeper. It's going into deeper wounds and stuff. And that's why you have a lot of the spiritual people who understand more about metaphysical and paranormal and stuff like that. But they still have their biases to heal too. And so, but there is still some people who have been doing their healing. And so there's going to be a lot of healing centers and stuff, I think. A lot of places where people can go and find themselves and, heal their wounds and stuff. And maybe even there'll be something like counselors or something. I would think something that could be really productive is like that group therapy where people just come in and take turns talking and stuff, because you learn from other people's perspective and you can hear other people say things that they would do, and it helps teach you. And so the group therapy can be really effective. Just like how they did AA or whatever, everybody gets a few minutes to talk, you don't interrupt and stuff like that. So anyways, I think that those things the things will develop of their healing, but that to me is where all of this energy comes, and that's where the energy from like the Schumann or whatever, like with these solar flashes. And so that is what we're getting the energy more tense. It's becoming more tension. It's moving faster, faster, faster. And it's really hard for some people. And so it's going faster and faster and faster. And that is, because the energy is going like faster, and so it's like this energy is separating. And so if there's people are like this and the energy is going like this, then they're feeling very uncomfortable, because it's this pulling part, like I said, like bubble gum pulling, like trying to pull the mud out of the bubble gum. And so it's a very intense kind of energy, and it's going back and forth, not just between us, but it's going between us and the rest of the planet, and then all these other beings, I'm sure, are feeling it too. And I think they're trying to, I mean, they could be sitting in their plane, in their machine, or their little orb things or whatever, and meditating and sending energy to try and help us to be able to get through it. Because the more that you can calm down and relax and face yourself, the easier it is, without the tension and stuff. But anyways, all that tension to me is what creates the solar flash. And when the solar flash happens, that's probably is when all these people leave, but it's predestined. I don't think it's like an interview, like, oh, so were you planning on staying? Are you going to help with our new earth, or are you out? Like, I don't think it's going to be like that. It's all pre-planned, just like I'm living my truth. I'm following what is programmed into me. And that's why, I'm not going to be like, well, I'm so brave. But I've gotten in so many of these discussions with my mom, because something will get brought up and I'll say, yeah, well, that's why, change has to occur. There has to be somebody who's willing to go out there on the line. And she's like, yeah, but you can't go and do that until there's more people. Otherwise, then we're all stuck. And I said, yeah, but that's what it makes change, is when we all do it. And she's like, well, I tried 30 years ago to get everybody to stop paying their taxes, and nobody would do it. And so I couldn't just do it. And I said, yeah, but there has to be somebody who's willing to do it. There has to be somebody who's willing to put themselves out there, to take the consequences, to create the change. And so there has to be leaders that lead us in a new direction and take us in a new way. We can't just sit back, because she keeps being like, we'll just have to sit back and wait for the change to happen. Change doesn't happen unless somebody starts going in a direction. Like, we'd all, like, look at what has happened. We just conform. We don't change. We conform. We become compliant. We become soft and easy, and we lose respect for ourselves. And so that is where you have to be like, this isn't right. I don't like this. This isn't how I'm going to live, or whatever, and to take the steps and go towards it. And that's the part where you start getting into the Bible stories of like, God has forsaken me. Like, I thought we were on the same team. And it's like, it's very, it can be hard, but I know that that's a part of it too. It's a part of the learning or whatever. And so, I'm in that part, definitely. I'm in the part of like, I've definitely been, like, why, that's how I got the whole story of Job keeps coming in, like, oh, okay. So, anyways, sometimes you have to go through the stuff, but it's to create change. It's to, so, even if it's not to be like, well, she stopped paying, so I'll stop paying and I'll lose my house too. It's not for that. It's on a bigger level. It's an energy, and I know that there's other ones that are tuned into the same energy, and it is like an opening a door. It's like creating a wave, and it goes along with the catalyst that is moving. So see, everything is like exactly the way it's supposed to be. Like, I'm not saying things to try and make you guys feel bad, like you should be doing this or you should be doing that. You got to follow your internal guidance. That is what I follow. And that's why I always am a weirdo to people, because I follow my internal guidance. And then it's become so frustrating when you try and explain that to people. And they think like, oh, you think you're more connected? You think this, you think that. It's like, I don't think it. I know it, dude. I fucking know it. I've been talking to these motherfuckers my whole life. Like, nobody listens. I can start saying, oh, you know what they say. Well, yeah, I'm just a crazy person. So, anyways, but that has to do with my lessons too. It has to do with my view of myself and stuff, and what I'm healing. And so it goes together. The role that I'm here to play goes together with my lessons. And so it's not, I'm really not trying to make anybody feel like you have to do this or you have to do that, or you, but I still have to follow my own path, and I know there's people who think like, well, you don't met your path, you don't pay your house, you're going to lose your house. But that's on one level. That's a very 3D way of thinking, because that's not how it always goes. So it was very close to it was very close to, could have gone either way. And besides, I've already gone through the house loss thing, and I thought, well, surely I'm not going to lose another one. And but then I would have all these things that I wasn't liking, and then I would go out and I would see like things were falling apart, and everything was wet, and I was getting sicker. The dogs were getting sicker, and I was like, this all seems like it's pushing me to be like I'm leaving here. And then I would get these tarot things that would come up, I would pack your bags, you're moving, and stuff. And so, and I still was like, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And so, but when the universe is moving you, it's for a reason. They don't give a shit if you don't. They are against the fucking loans. Like, they don't give a fuck. The universe don't give a fuck. Like, you're not paying your shit. They don't give a fuck. Where it becomes like a karmic thing is when you're screwing somebody over. Like, you're screwing somebody over, then you've got a problem. But it doesn't look at money and stuff like that. Like, these are about lessons and stuff. And so it's not gonna, like, the universe isn't gonna punish me because I didn't pay my bills, so it's gonna take my house away from me. That's not how the universe works. And so everything, remember, everything is about the movement of embracing the knowledge from what comes from the movement. And so it could have gone either way, but it went into the way that showed me that some, that place, it wasn't my home. It never felt like it was my home. It felt always like a temporary situation. Never felt. Even when I went there, it was my whole intention was just to fix it up and Airbnb it and go look for a place down south. So, but everything changed and went in a different direction, and I had to go with the flow. And then I became very confused over what was going on with that place. But the more I would look at that map, the more I would see, like, it's very much on the chopping block. Like, I don't know that this place is going to still be here. And so that's where I had to keep opening myself up to, well, if I leave, then I leave. But following my morals of saying I'm not going to pay these people, and these loans are already been deemed as corrupt, I'm not going to, that's like paying gangsters to not come and tear your business up. They've done this forever. This is what they do. Well, you're going to pay us not to fuck you up. It's like, sometimes you just got to get fucked up, man, and not pay them, because otherwise you're in a trap. Mr. Mick's growling like crazy. And so anyways, that is, to me, it's like, you just got to follow your own instincts. You got to follow what you're here to do. And, I'm here to make a wave of change or something, to talk about, seeing things in a different way. And so it's just, I don't know, I'll see more when it comes. Like, I've got just the same kind of thing as everybody else, like, in a state of confusion of like, where's this all going? Where's this all leading to? And what am I doing? What am I doing this for? Especially when it keeps hitting into one thing after another. Then it's like, am I even supposed to be doing this? But then there's such I don't know, necessity, or I guess important. So I feel like I'm supposed to be doing it, but it seems like that there's a lot of interference. Like they're trying to prevent us from going into this peaceful time of healing and connection and stuff. And so, I gotta keep pushing it, but I've been working against all of this energy that's trying to prevent it. And so it's just as, I don't know, it's like swimming upstream or something, and it's tiring. It's like tiring. I feel like I'm frazzled to my last, I feel like my last bit of energy has been drained out of me, and it's just like, oh my God, it's a lot. So, and it's hard, it is definitely hard. Like this isn't, and it's about to get even colder, and I've got to open this whole garage door to get in and out, and it's cold, and I had to open it a zillion times last night. So, I don't know, it's something fun, but then I'm also very grateful to have a place, to have shelter. But my intention is to, first off, I got to pay back the people I owe money to. Then I've got to get that satellite thing. So that will make, be more open up to communication. And then start getting money together to get a camper. That just seems like the first thing, because then I can travel to wherever it is that I'm going to go, and I can sleep in my camp. Like if I'm going to get property somewhere or something, I could sleep in my camper while building a house or something. Or maybe there's going to be some houses that are going to be there, because I had heard that he was going to charge taxes on new stuff. Like if you went and you said, well, I want to build a new house, and you wanted to go buy all the wood and all that stuff, that there will be taxes on stuff like that. But if you go buy a used house, like if you go buy a house that's already there, that there won't be any taxes. So I don't know how it's all going to go, but I know that things are going to start opening up. there's going to start being, because literally there's more houses that are open and empty than there are homeless people. Like, it's absurd. And then they keep going out and building more because it's all a part of their laundry system. It's all this fucking nonsense, man. So anyways, that is uh the the that's my plan, is however long, I am learning a lot of things. Like, it is giving me new perspectives, and I am seeing things and stuff. And so seeing parts of myself, like, that I wouldn't have seen before. And not all the parts are ones that I feel good about. When I'm losing my mind and battling Max, then it's like, oh my God, I'm crazy. And so, seeing all these different sides of ourselves, very well is the whole thing, because that's what helps you to heal. But anyways, I still see it as we got this wave flipping thing coming back. So and we got to be close. I think it's starting, it's having splashes, like you're seeing people's lives start to turn and go different directions and stuff. So I think it's happening, but there's going to be a more robust flipping. There's going to be a big flip that will happen. A whole bunch of people awakening at once over something. So anyways, this new airplane crash, like, oh my God. Man, I just feel like people got to stay out of the skies right now. Like, I don't know. There's something with the energy. There's something with the atmosphere. Like, and people just mindlessly keep going about their business like there's nothing to worry about. It's like, you got to see more on the metaphysical side of life, the paranormal side of life, the spirit. There's a whole realm or something people aren't seeing. But anyways, so another plane crash, horrible one. The plane split in half. But I'm only seeing 2 of the passengers who were on it. It was American Airlines passenger flight. I don't even know how big, but it had 2 Russian ice skaters on it. And I don't know where the plane was going or from or whatever. But then for it to be that could be something where they're going to turn it into, well, that was an act of war. They did this on purpose. There's no telling where anything can go. That can be something that's going to go bigger or something. So all these different things, like anything can happen at any moment, and that can be a catalyst to create great change. So that is where, we're at this. Don't forget, it's like some of this is very tumultuous. It's very much like when you're riding the river and you get to the 4s and the 5s and you're holding on for dear life. That's what some of this is. Like, you're holding on for dear life through some of this shit. And so there's going to be more, and I don't know what more will come from that. There's going to be more that's going to come, but there is, so there's lots of stuff going on. Like, he's increasing the jailing system of the island. There's this more shit going on in the skies, more, like, for them to say about the Russian thing. Oh yeah, and I want to make sure that I said, because on that OZ that I forgot to talk about yesterday, the young girl that I saw talking about it, she has got all sorts of issues now. She doesn't just have osteoporosis, she's got like several bone density problems. And to be such a young person and the pain, oh my God. See, they are putting people on medication that is eating their minerals. It's eating them alive. And people just keep going and taking it. It's eating your bones up and stuff. Her hair was colored like a crazy color, so I don't know, if she even knows what her hair looks like underneath. But but your hair is a guide. Your hair is a barometer. And so your hair can show you. And that is where I can keep seeing, like, man, I'm being healthy. Like, the colors in my hair and the texture and stuff, it's like so soft. So soft. But look at, like, I don't know if you can see, there's so much red and gold. It's like this golden and reddish color. And it just trips me out because, they make, like, once you're out of high school, like, you wouldn't have blonde hair anymore. Well, it's got a lot of gold in there to me. Like, man, a lot of gold and a lot of red. So I don't know. It starts at such a young age where we start being depleted that, and then they give us a reason for everything, but you got to back it up, rewind, and go back. And so a lot of us became depleted of minerals a long time ago. Just like, this is a young girl. She's like 21 years old or something. And now she's got this bone density and all these, as my mom has said, they are trying to get everybody on that. And it's just, you got to think too, this is like the backfire of the easy way. People just want to take this quick, easy thing, and it's going to make it all easy. I don't have to put much work into losing weight, and just take this and it'll all go away. But that's not what weight is about. Weight is about, for one thing, it is a buffer, an energetic buffer that people create for themselves. And so you got to heal the things that, why you put it up there to begin with. And then it also, there's just a lot of emotional ties to your weight and stuff. And then people have been so programmed to not eat right. And so it's just like a complete changeover in your lifestyle can make all the difference in spending time in reflection and healing your wounds. I'm telling you, weight just starts falling off of you. It's not like you even have to do anything. Well, I mean, if you just were eating bad and not taking care of yourself, but it just goes hand in hand. Like, you start healing, you start loving yourself, you start taking care of yourself, you start eating right, and the weight just naturally falls off. And then you start seeing, oh, it's like when I've got a lot of problems and I'm sad and I don't feel good about myself, then I hold weight on me. And so, yeah, it's the things that you got to let go of and stuff. So there's a natural process that makes it easy. So anyways, so we got that going. So now I'm almost at the thing. So let me think if I was going to come back. Let me think if there was some more stuff I was going to talk about. I feel like I've been talking so much. I might come back and talk some more later or something, but now my mind is just like, I feel like I've said so much stuff, and it's kind of like, a lot of the stuff I say, it's like, some of the stuff I say is like new information to me. So it's like, I got to process stuff too. It's like my mind has to catch up with all the stuff that I'm saying or something. So anyways, just, don't feel like because I'm doing this, like I'm not trying to say like, oh, you got to do this or you got to do that or you're not a good person or whatever. No, I'm doing this because it's in my internal guidance of doing it. I can't not do it. And that's what, a lot of people who are in my physical don't understand, like what drives me, why I am the way I am. But that to me is a part of like the lights coming on and them seeing like, oh, she's driven more by her soul. This weird thing that I don't like to acknowledge so much. That to me is a part of this whole awakening, is the people who were in that is to help the other people to find themselves. It's not to be worshipped or be like, oh, they're better than me or something. No, it's to find those parts of ourselves. Like, it's the parts, it's like turning a light on so that people can find these parts of themselves, because I'm showing like, well, we've all got these parts. And so then it helps people find their parts. So it's definitely not to try and make people feel like you have to do what I'm doing or anything like that. But that's what we create, is this wave of change so that we do take these things down. And to me, it's going right along with what he's doing. It all works together to me. And so, I don't know, maybe I just sound so crazy to you guys too. I always think that you guys, are on a different level. Like, you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, let's look at my tooth real quick, because I am like, look, I can't believe how good that looks. Like, it really, like, there's not a black hole anymore. There's like a gray kind of like place. But it's like, all of that is almost gone, and then it's just going to look like white. But I think the white's going to have to keep building up. So, anyways, that's what it's doing. And I best get going because I want to try and do these short. So, don't forget, because as far as I'm concerned, what we're doing here is learning how to love ourselves, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So, I'll talk to you later.